Hey everyone! Welcome to Arches National Park, one of the most unreal landscapes you'll ever step into. This place seriously looks like it belongs on another planet. Located in eastern Utah, right near the town of Moab, Arches is home to over 2,000 natural sandstone arches. Yep, 2,000. From tiny little windows to massive stone giants that frame the sky, every formation feels like a sculpture carved by time. What makes this place so special is the red rock sculpted over millions of years by wind, water, and ice. And somehow, nature managed to balance entire slabs of stone on skinny legs and curves. We're about to hike the most iconic trail in all of Arches' Delicate Arch Trail. This is a 3-mile round-trip hike, moderately strenuous, and it definitely makes you work for the view. You'll gain about 480 feet of elevation, most of it on slick rock, that big, wide expanse of smooth sandstone that looks like it goes on forever. There's not a lot of shade, so bring plenty of water and start early if you're doing this in the summer. The beginning of the trail winds through some rocky terrain and old homesteads, but pretty quickly, you're out in the open, and this is where the slick rock section begins. It's a long uphill grind on solid stone, and yeah, it's a little intense. Your legs will feel it, but the scenery keeps getting better and better. Make sure to turn around every so often. The views behind you are just as good as what's ahead. That ace you near the end. The trail narrows into a rock ledge carved into the side of a cliff. It's not dangerous if you're careful, but it definitely adds a little thrill. And then just like that, you round a corner, and boom, there it is. Delicate Arch just standing 52 feet tall. It's like this perfect sandstone rainbow balancing in the middle of nowhere. There's nothing around it, no cliffs, no wall, just the arch, the open sky, and a backdrop of distant mountains. It feels surreal. Delicate Arch rises like a natural monument against the vast Utah sky, bold, isolated, and timeless. Its graceful curve, sculpted by centuries of wind and stone, captures the pure essence of desert beauty. There's nowhere else in the world quite like this. Okay, now we're at one of the coolest and most unique spots in Arches National Park. This is Double Arch. Like most of the arches in the park that form along ridges or cliff faces, Double Arch is totally different. It's made up of 2 massive arches that share the same stone foundation, creating this giant, open cavern of red rock above you. It honestly feels like standing inside a natural amphitheater carved by wind and rain. What's crazy is how huge it is. The larger of the 2 spans over 140 feet wide and 100 feet tall. And when you stand underneath it, you feel tiny. It's like nature's version of a cathedral ceiling. The DG hike to get here is super easy. It's just a 0.5-mile round-trip walk from the parking lot. It's flat, family-friendly, and totally worth the stop. You can even scramble up the rocks underneath for a better view. Just be careful. They're steep and sandy. Double Arch was formed by water erosion from above rather than from the side, which is pretty rare. That's part of what makes its shape so unique. Now we're at one of the most iconic and accessible spots in Arches, the North and South Window Arches, also known as the Windows section. These 2 giant arches are side by side, carved into the same massive sandstone wall. They're often called the spectacles because from a distance, they look like a pair of stone eyeglasses. The north window is the bigger one. It frames the landscape like a picture window and gives you this amazing view of distant rock formations. It's super popular for sunrise photography, especially when the first light hits the arch and everything glows orange-red. South window is a bit smaller, but just as impressive. It's slightly higher up, and you can scramble a little to get right underneath it. The feeling of standing beneath both arches, with sky above and red rock all around, is absolutely surreal. There's a short 1-mile loop trail that takes you to both windows, and then circles behind them if you take the primitive trail. It's mostly flat and very doable for all ages. This area is often busy, but early morning or late afternoon is much quieter, and the lighting is incredible. We just pulled into one of the hidden gems of Arches. This is the Sand Dune Arch Trail, and it's a short one, but totally worth the stop. The trail is only about 0.3 miles round trip, super flat and shaded, which is a nice break from the desert heat. You'll walk through a narrow slot between tall fins of sandstone, and as soon as you step inside, it feels like entering a secret desert cave And then, tucked between these towering red walls, you'll find Sand Dune Arch, this delicate arch, literally growing out of the rock wall, surrounded by soft, cool sand beneath your feet. It almost feels like a little oasis hidden away from the rest of the park. This spot is perfect for kids and families, or just anyone who wants that magical, tucked-away desert vibe. It's also a great place to get creative with your camera, since the light filters through the narrow walls in beautiful, dramatic ways. Alright, we're kicking things off at one of the first stops inside Arches National Park, the Park Avenue Trail. Soon as you step out of the car, it feels like you've walked straight into a giant outdoor cathedral. This place is called Park Avenue because the towering sandstone walls on either side look like New York City skyscrapers. Only these ones were carved by wind and time, not cranes and concrete. The trail is about 1 mile one way, so 2 miles round trip if you go in and out, and it gently descends down a slick rock path into a narrow canyon. It's especially beautiful in the morning when the light hits just right. And right at the start of the trail, you'll see one of my favorite formations, the Three Gossips. It's a tall trio of rock spires that honestly looks like three friends huddled together, sharing some juicy desert gossip. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. It's amazing how much personality these rocks have. Nature really has a sense of humor. Alright, we've just pulled up to one of the most iconic sites in Arches National Park, Balanced Rock. And trust me, it's exactly what it sounds like. A massive boulder-shaped chunk of red rock, perfectly perched on a slender pedestal. This formation stands about 128 feet tall, and the rock sitting on top alone is around 3,600 tons, roughly the size of 3 school buses stacked together. What's wild is how delicate it looks, like it could topple over any second, but it's been standing like this for thousands of years. There's an easy 0.3 mile loop trail that lets you walk around the entire formation. It's flat, short, and super photogenic, especially during sunrise or sunset when the rocks glow a fiery orange. If you're short on time in Arches, this is one stop you absolutely can't miss. It's a quick visit but totally unforgettable.